Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Houston Sports Hub back in the video day, and today we are going to be talking about the 2024 NFL Divisional Round schedule. As after the two games that were on yesterday ended, the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Buffalo Bills 31-17, and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Philadelphia Eagles 32-9. We will be going over the schedule in the divisional round. So before I start, and this is coming from a Texans fan, who would have thought that at the start of the season, you look at the final 8 teams in the playoffs, the final 8 teams still standing, that 3 of those teams would be the Green Bay Packers, the Houston Texans, and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The Buccaneers and the Packers were 2 teams that were thought of this going into the season that could have been 2 of the worst teams in the NFC, if not the NFL. While the Texans were the same thing in the AFC, I knew the Texans, as a Texans fan, will be better than their expectations, but I really didn't think they could get this far. I thought, sure, they could get, at the most, they can get to a wild card appearance. Jacksonville would win the division. We can maybe somehow get into the wild card if a lot of things happen, and then losing the wild card is like the 7 or 6 seed. Like that would be our highest ceiling, but our lowest ceiling, what I thought going into the season, was 6 or 7 wins. But I thought the highest was 10 and getting into the playoffs as a wild card. But I never thought the Texans would have been able to make it this far in the divisional round, and sure as hell didn't think the same thing for the Green Bay Packers and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I thought the Buccaneers would. I think in my record predictions, I had the Bucs going 4-13. I had the Texans going 9-8. I had the Bucs going 4-13, and I had the Packers going 7-10. Now these 3 teams are now in the divisional round. And I think, just because of the Packers matchup, I don't know if they have a great chance this weekend. But I think the Bucs and the Texans and maybe even the Packers all have a chance to win this week. I think the Bucs have a good chance. I think the Texans, even though I'm a Texans fan, I think with the Ravens having some time off recently, they haven't played in 2 weeks. Well, they had 1 week off, but their best players haven't played in 2 games or 2 weeks because they had the wild card off. And then they rested their star players against the Pittsburgh Steelers in Week 18 because they locked the 1 seed. I think this divisional round will be a very interesting week of football. Now let's go over the schedule. So 2 games Saturday, 2 games Sunday. And Saturday you have the Texans and the Ravens at 3:30. And that's on ESPN. Then Packers and 49ers at 7:15 on Saturday. Packers and 49ers. This is a different Packers-49ers matchup. Sure, the 49ers have owned the Packers in the past, but there's a new quarterback in Green Bay, and that's Jordan Love, and look how he played against Dallas. I'm not going to go ahead and say, just because Aaron Rodgers is gone for the Packers, this is a guaranteed win for the Packers, especially against this stacked 49ers team. But I think the Packers and Jordan Love have a better chance in this game than people are thinking they do, and it wouldn't surprise me if this is a very close game on Saturday. Then Sunday, you have the Buccaneers and the Lions. Outside of my favorite teams matchup in the Texans, this is the game I'm most excited for throughout the divisional round is the Buccaneers and the Lions. And then that game's at 2 o'clock on NBC on Sunday. And then at 5:30, you have a good rivalry. The Kansas City Chiefs travel to Buffalo on Sunday, January 21st, 5:30. Patrick Mahomes, this will be his 16th playoff game. His first road playoff game of his career. That's crazy to think about. First road playoff game. He's played in neutral sites at the Super Bowl, but has never played on the road in the playoffs. And this will be his first matchup, and it will be against a team that he has defeated 2 times in the playoffs, one in the AFC Championship game, one in the divisional round, but a team that has owned him in the regular season. But when these 2 teams, have played in Buffalo in the past, Buffalo has taken care of Kansas City. I don't know. I think Buffalo, a team who plays pretty well at home, and a Kansas City team who has not been the same Kansas City team. Although Patrick Mahomes looked a lot different in that game against the Dolphins, I like to see him go up against a better team in the Bills, a better defense as well with the Bills. But can Travis Kelce and Rashee Rice do the same thing they did last week? Because when Kelce and Rice play the way they did against the Dolphins, Mahomes is a better quarterback, and he doesn't have to worry about all those other wide receivers dropping all the passes. So I think the Chiefs-Bills game will be another interesting game. I really don't think either. I don't think one of these 4 games will disappoint. I think these are all 4 of these games. I really believe all 4 of these games will be very entertaining games, and I can't wait to see what happens in these matchups. Let me know your thoughts on the matchups in the comment section, and peace out.